Welcome back, everybody, to the Gentleman's Bureau. As always, I'm Jedediah from Illinois. We got Lane coming at you from Denver. We got Mark from Okinawa, Japan. And today, special guest, superstar Jacob from the Rude, Crude, and Socially Unacceptable YouTube channel. He has a side channel, too. He'll tell us more about that later on in the video when we get into the nitty-gritty. In the meantime, Lane has an important message that you need to hear right now. Lane, take it away.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Esoterra Podcast. The reason that we are back online doing this again is after some long consideration and long talks, we decided that it's probably best to start that back up. And we'd love to have Esoterra Podcast come on. If you remember some of our episodes with Delane Barham, that is who is running this podcast, along with a guy by the name of Adam. And Adam does a really great job at managing, I guess, the dialogue between him and Delane. And it's a great podcast, honestly. I listen to every single one and I comment, and it's really engaging. And if you really liked the podcast, the two podcasts we had with Delane, we had three. One didn't make it up. But if you really enjoyed that, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. So once again, thank you, Adam and Delane. And we'll be reaching out to you guys.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure we did 3, and then you said that it didn't make it up, and I was like, oh, shit, that's right. YouTube got us again.
Speaking truth, boss. What's the story there? YouTube got you again. Did it?
Well, the first one that really got us was the first one that really got us was Pam Popper. She came on to provide because she's a medical doctor, provide a medical opinion on the pandemic, and YouTube did not like her opinion, did not like our opinion, that her opinion was better than their opinion, and because it's their platform, their opinion won. And yeah, the second time was Lane's third video. Lane, you probably know more about that.
Yeah, so it was flagged for cyberbullying and harassment.
That's right.
And I think the only thing I can think of, because we scrubbed it, we don't post things we wouldn't post something like that, right? And so we had scrubbed that and made sure that it was up to YouTube standard, and they still flagged it for that. But the only thing I can think of, we said something about Bernie Sanders, I think, and it wasn't nice, but it
POTUS.
What is it, Jed?
We also said something bad about President Joe Biden.
Probably, but who doesn't say anything bad about Joe Biden?
Amendment
at this point,
1.
Yeah, there was something else, but it wasn't anything. It was nothing terrible, and YouTube was just being YouTube. So now, unfortunately, that was a great podcast. But
did they just remove the episode, or was it flag it for something that you age restrict or something like that, or was it
full on strike? Full on strike. We've gotten 2 strikes already. Thank God they happened far enough away that it was still only 1 strike. But
wow, all right.
Yeah, man, they really did not like it. It didn't help that I tried to upload the Pam Popper one twice. Didn't get away with it. I changed the title, and I guess the title wasn't the problem. Hindsight's 2020. What do you want me to say?
Ridiculous, man. That was a really good guest that we had. And I think it's on Spotify, is it not?
It is on audio only options, so you can still listen to that on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. There's a bunch of them. There'll be a link in the description of the video of all the audio only platforms we're on.
For sure, and she was a good guest, man, because she wrote a book, and she's very renowned. I mean, I've heard her name come out of some very, very famous people's mouths, or well-known, renowned scientists' mouths, and I'm like, wow, I actually talked to that woman. It was actually really cool. And then just for YouTube to be like, nah, you want to grow your channel? You think no. It was it was our perfect launch. It would have been great. But if you want to listen to it though, Spotify.
Yeah, the craziest part was that the whole thing came out of I recommended our podcast to a friend of mine from college, and like months later, she's hit me back and said, "You should see about getting her on your podcast because she's talking about like all the same stuff you guys are talking about." Because obviously, it was the time, so we were talking about the vid. And I just sent her an email, and she came right back and said, "Oh, I'd love to." And it blew me away. I was like, "There's no way."
Nice.
It's cool.
And then,
But yeah, that's
YouTube
too bad about the freaking strike. Well, two of them, but at least they were far enough apart to where there's not like long lasting,
Well, we still have
stuff
one strike pretty much forever, I think.
You're not like teetering on the edge, is what I'm saying. At least there's, you're not that. But
yeah. There was a couple weeks there though.
Yeah.
But
have you gotten any?
Have you had any
strikes or gotten any timeouts or discipline, Jacob, with the YouTubes?
No. Certainly no strikes. Sometimes there's like a copyright claim because I'm like live streaming and I'm just like, screw it. I'm tired of copyright free lo-fi stuff. I want to hear my music. So I just play it and just like, whatever. Because I mean, with those, it's like if you're making money on the video, then the copyright, like who filed the claim or YouTube's generated thing, it's like the revenue would go to them. And it's like the live streams I'm not monetizing, so I don't care. Should probably be a little more careful with it, but that's the closest is just a copyright claim, which is completely different.
Yeah.
Well, now that you're, a big baller, got YouTube money, whoop whoop, so you just gotta play your cards close to your chest.
All tiny amounts of it.
Would it be appropriate to ask you how much you do make? Is that something?
No, it's not appropriate at all.
Not even worth it. It's probably not even worth it.
Well, no, I don't care. It's probably not worth it because it's not a lot, especially for, it's nice to have a bit on the side, like kind of coming in, but it's certainly not a ton. I think, let's see, it's like the first day I made like $6 off of the just ad revenue.
Oh.
I mean, so you kind of, you can span it if you just estimate over the month, because I haven't completed a full month. That's only been like maybe a week and a half ago that I started being able to put ads, and my estimated revenue right now is about $75.
Hey,
so I mean, it's
not
certainly not something to quit my job over.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
I mean,
$75?
Yeah.
Raid Shadow Legends should be contacting you any minute, right?
Honestly.
Oh, probably, yeah. No, that was like on the Star Wars podcast. We had gotten our first patron, and it was like $5 a month. And Evan's like, "Screw it, I'm quitting. I'm going all in. This is gonna supply everything I need." But
he actually quit.
No, he didn't.
I was gonna say,
just screwing
Jesus,
around.
please tell me he didn't.
Yeah, no, he was just joking.
Lame.
No, but I mean, you look at any of the larger YouTube people and stuff, and those who are actually doing it full time. It's like ad revenue is like the bottom of the percentages of their total income. Like they're doing constant sponsorships and other deals and stuff. So I've been kind of looking into that sort of thing, but at the same time, I'm not at a size right now where I feel like I should just start trying to promote stuff. I'm just kind of focused on trying to grow at this point.
Yeah, stick to what you believe in. Stick to your morals. Cash money will come. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Speaking of cash money, boys, I just checked our Anchor account. We've officially, we're not just making pennies anymore, boys. We've gotten our first dollar.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. You hear
Now we
that,
just have to
guys?
split it 3 ways.
Off.
Wait, you've gotten your first what?
Dollar.
Oh,
So with Anchor, it allows us to put the
quitting.
podcast on audio-only platforms, like really easy. I just upload it there, and then they split it out everywhere else. And they let me do an ad, like right out the gate.
yeah.
Don't know anything about us. They let me do an ad for them. And honestly, it was so easy to do. I had no problem doing it. And it's just been sitting there on every podcast, just taking up a cent at a time.
That's what I like about Anchor as well. We also use that, and it's just like, hey, you don't need a minimum listenership or anything. Just record this for us and we'll pay you. I think it changed to maybe 1050 CPM. So maybe 1050 per thousand or something like that downloads. But
I think it's
pretty nice to just have that.
Like I can only get maximum $15.
Yeah, that's what ours started out as, but I think the last time I checked it, it was like 1050. But then I think we have cashed out once, I guess, so maybe it changes after that. I don't know, but it says 1050.
Cool.
It says it's 1050 RPM, revenue per milli.
Yeah, it's like Latin per thousand or something like that. It's just,
so it's the amount of money you'll earn for every 1,000 plays.
Yep.
Cool.
Nice.
It means we're past 100 plays total now. Because we're at a tenth of 1,000, so yeah.
Nice. I contributed to that today.
Did you really?
I was checking out what your last episode on Spotify was about.
Ooh. What was it?
You had Logan on there.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
I know that guy.
That means I need to put some more out there.
Have we been consistently uploading in congruency with all platforms?
Seems like a really weird topic, guys. I'm not gonna lie with the show. So you think we could move on to a new topic?
Yeah, just talking about analytics.
Yeah. I mean, people enjoy us, but I'm pretty sure they don't enjoy analytics.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to make sure that our audience that is listening, can actually find our recent episodes on all of our platforms. So I think it's relevant.
Well, that part I think makes sense, but like talking about the RPM and all that stuff probably is
that's
weird,
lame.
A little much, but
my ears are bleeding.
So have we been uploading yet? That's what I want to know.
There has been a lag. I'm not going to lie about that.
All right.
But that's also because I was having those file problems.
Jed's slacking.
No,
your last episode was 64.
Ooh.
On Spotify.
Yeah, you won't be able to say that much longer.
5 more uploads, Jed.
Yeah.
All right, so current events. I wanted to get to the war in Ukraine is nuts. Still,
that shit is still going on, bro. What the fuck is gonna happen? Like, at what point are we gonna be like, all right, well, you won, or like, what the fuck are we doing, dude? We just keep dumping billions of our dollars.
Exactly, we are willing to pay and fight to the last dead Ukrainian as the sponsors of this war. Like,
dude, that's the thing, right? Like, all these fucking Ukrainian people are just gonna die out, and then the U.S. is gonna be like, well, it's ours now, and then they'll move in, and then Russia will be like, no, it's ours, and then we'll be like, and then that's when the real war will kick off. I guarantee it, dude. It'll be like at every expense of the freaking Ukrainians. Like, God bless their souls, man. They're fighting hard, I guess. But like, dude, I'd be bailing. I'd be bailing out of there.
Well, I'm pretty sure, yeah, like a lot of people have, and they're still fighting. Like, I guess there's still a good fight to fight, right? They're getting great equipment. They're fighting every day. They're actually gaining ground. But what happens whenever you hit the border of Russia? What happens then? That's the big question. I don't think America wants Ukraine to lose. I don't think they will lose. Russia can't really accept a defeat and still be Russia, right? So we're at a rock and a hard place right now. Does it end in nuclear war? Does it end with Ukraine invading Russia? Is that a red line for them? How do you like that, Russia? Getting invaded. You don't like that? You
don't like that, do you?
There's a lot of things up in the air, but I think the strongest thing that I can see so far is America is going to throw money at this as much as they can, because it's going to, boost the war machine, and we don't have to lose anybody yet. So, crazy.
Military industrial complex. beware of the military-industrial complex. I really don't want to talk about this topic anymore, just because I don't want to give it any more power with my words and shit. You know, like.
All right, we won't talk about the military-industrial complex, but we will talk a little bit. I just want to bring up the fact that there are American special forces apparently training in Ukraine. Even though we said like we're not involved in this, we still have special forces over there. We have what is it, the 101st, or at the border. They're like spitting distance of Russia, Russian military in Ukraine, right? They're so close. I just think like, is it gonna happen when we pop in this bottle of champagne to say the war is here? We're queer. We're filling our factories. Get used to it. What do you guys think so far, though? Have you actually been paying attention to this war? It seems like it comes in waves.
No.
I don't really follow the news in general, so no, not really.
Anything political or news related, I just kind of check out because it ticks me off in some way or another, and I don't really find it worth it.
I understand.
So I'm just like, nah. Like I get a generic rundown based on a group text I'm in, but that's about it.
Yeah, I feel like if something really popped off, then I'd get a notification or something, or someone would call me, or Like, but
get to the bunker.
Then I'm just like, whatever, dude. Chilling.
Yeah, I feel like I.
What's going on with?
Pay attention close enough to know everything, like the bigger people that do. But the only thing I'm really paying attention to is like the war going on in Ukraine right now, and whatever the fuck China's doing, because Taiwan is our neighbor. Like they're so close. Mm-hmm. So I just worry about those.
What's going on with Kanye West? What's been going on with that guy? Isn't there something going on with Kanye West? Didn't he like?
Bro is a savage.
Or like,
he needs.
He's been on all these talk shows. He's on like Pierce,
like from his phone.
You think so?
He just says things that shouldn't be like. They're financially, especially financially.
Whenever I hear of Kanye West, all I can think about is that one interview where they pass him the microphone and he's just like, George Bush doesn't care about black people.
George Bush is dead.
Mike Myers. Whoop. He's shocked. That is one of the greatest Kanye West moments, and he's had a lot.
I think of the South Park where he's like, "Bitch, why you ain't a hobbit?" Like, wasn't that him? Right? He's like, "Are you a hobbit?" Like,
he thought he was a gay fish, super genius boy from the future.
A gay fish. Oh, you like fish? You like eating fish sticks?
So you're a gay fish.
Oh, jeez.
How does that make me a gay fish?
You're a gay fish. Yeah. So yeah, well, he just said some shit, and then now everyone's blowing up.
He didn't just say some shit. Now
I knew it.
That's underplaying it. He said some shit. Well, then tell me.
You're not telling me what happened.
He
said I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
He said some shit against the Jews, and they canceled his bank account. What's that? What's that shit?
So we should be talking about this because that's fucked up. I don't care what he said. The fact that you're going to shut the man's bank account over some anti-Semitic talk, right? Like, I get it. You can equate the shit to Hitler, right? You can be like, well, would you close Hitler's bank account if he was, back in the day or whatever? Like, wouldn't you do that?
I feel like if he's killing a bunch of people, you could probably justify that. But you can close his bank account if he's using it to fund a bunch of gas chambers. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
But in this case, obviously, that's not what's going on.
Well,
it's like such a reach. Like, that's such a lawsuit, dude. That's so fun.
You know what I think happened is Kanye got hooked up with the black Israelites. Black Hebrew Israelites that think like white people are the devil and black people are the only real Jews. Jews aren't really Jews. They also think white people were invented in a lab as like a science experiment or something. No, I'm serious. Like they have some crazy beliefs, and I think Kanye West might have got hooked up with that whole group of people. and they're believing a whole range of madness.
But that doesn't make sense because he was just wearing a White Lives Matter shirt, right?
It doesn't.
Kanye was. So like
Kanye West.
Okay. All right.
His
that's
name
got a
is
point there.
legally Yee now or something, right? He got it changed legally to like Yee. So it's not even like we're not dealing with a regular person here. He is a billionaire with entirely too much
Yeehaw West.
freedom of speech to fuck his life up.
Yeah, that's the fucking. I feel like they're just preparing us for the social credit system.
No, Kanye West is the world's greatest comedian. They're preparing us for funnier things.
Laughter? They're preparing us for comedy?
Yes.
Is that what we're in for?
We're in the joke that kills.
I knew like a bunch of outlets were like not selling his clothes anymore, right? They like cut deals. They're like, oh, we're done.
Dude,
so
greatest
threw
quote
all
ever.
this shit out on the street for people to grab.
Greatest quote ever. Kanye West comes out and says, I could say anti-Semitic shit and Adidas won't do shit. We are tight as fuck. Adidas drops Kanye West because of his anti-Semitic shit. So yeah, he's just like totally getting cut left and right. Dude is a billionaire. Like people really look over that. Oh, maybe he's not. I think he is a billionaire. Yeah, he's a billionaire.
He might be. Yeah.
And they don't want to like equate him with like black man, rapper, like Kanye West, crazy man. They're not saying like multi, millionaire or billionaire, whatever he is. Billionaire Kanye West says some anti-Semitic shit. It's like, well, maybe some people that really value money might listen to Kanye West about his anti-Semitic shit. So probably they're like rewording it to being like, oh, he's just a rapper. He's just this or that. The dude is crazy, but he got money. Gotta give him that.
Wasn't he running for president at one point?
I think that was a whole gimmick, but yeah, I think he threw in his hat in the 2020 election or something like that.
Huh.
He's Yee, man.
Wow.
Nobody's gonna vote for him.
What else is going on? I voted for him. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't. I don't vote. I don't vote, actually.
You have that right. What else is going on? We're living in free countries, freedom of speech. North Korea is testing missiles again. They haven't done since 2017, I think. Getting a little crazy.
Rocket Man.
He's blasting off
Not what
to
he
the
called
speed
him.
of light.
They're gonna be huge. That's crazy. That's crazy. So they're back. They're gonna start their shit up again, and then
They've been doing it.
I feel like what I found out today? Interesting fact. Did you notice that? I don't know if you guys follow Led Zeppelin, the band, right? Any of their old live music and stuff. But what had happened was, so Robert Plant, the lead singer, he'd always wear like women's clothes, like women's tops, right? When he would sing. That's why they're so short. That's why they were cut, right? Like that's why they were just so small, right? And so that and then I found out why is because he would sleep, like whoever he slept with the night before, he would tell them like, hey, give me your shirt and I'll wear it tomorrow, and then he would do that. That's what he did, dude. That's some rock star shit. He like whoever he slept with, he'd just take their shirt and then wear it the next day.
Yeah, staying in hotel rooms gets expensive. That's why a lot of rock stars had girlfriends in every city across the world,
Well, that's not why. Wouldn't you if you could have? I mean, like if you were single, young, you were like, "Woo, I'm a fucking rock star." I can
99 problems. Bitches, every single one.
I'm
just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, but like you get excited, right? You'd get excited. You see like the world tour or like their tour, and then you look at the dates and you'd be like, oh, he's going to Chicago at this time. You know, I live in Chicago. He goes to me. I'm his bitch. And then like, maybe he found a new one. Things are getting crazy. You know, it's like a whole episode of like a soap opera, right? I
Yeah.
don't know. You'd probably make a movie out of that, right? Some
I
crazy shit.
bet they would.
Maybe.
Probably something called like Woman Number 456.
Jeez.
It's just about a lady that like contracted some STDs from Gene Simmons.
I was gonna say 456. What's the name of the soap opera? Venereal disease? Like, jeez.
Disease.
Yes, it's Gene Simmons' yep. You're
Family
following Gene
Jewels.
Simmons, right? Yeah, Family Jewel. The burning Family Jewel.
My family jewels are on fire right now.
So Jacob, are you going to start YouTube boxing now? Or going to YouTube Convention Con? I don't know. Wait,
No,
GamerCon?
no, not at what?
They do like gamer convention, right? For
Yeah, I mean,
Gamers.
yeah, there's a variety of events like that, but I mean, no, I like last week, I think it was, passed above 6,000 subs, so that's really small. Like, you know, you see those like big events and stuff. That's like for hundreds of thousands. Like,
Yeah.
honestly,
you'll get
I mean, you
there.
probably could.
Small.
you probably could go to them, I guess, like some of them, but like, really, I don't know. I'm good.
You're adorable, man. People would love to see you. They'll be like, "Oh, look at this young up and comer," and then you know, some big wig.
Dude, that's how you get more subs, man.
You know,
Get your-
YouTuber
Dude,
comes
that's
over.
just what you should
Go
do.
out there, have like a printed QR code on my shirt, and just run around to everybody like, scan it.
Exactly. I mean,
It's
I'm
an
pretty sure that's
automatic
what
sub.
PewDiePie did, right?
No, he
Well,
just sold hot dogs.
that whole marketing thing about like sub to PewDiePie, I mean, that was pretty large.
Yeah. PewDiePie. Is
So I mean, I guess, but that was, I don't think he initiated that necessarily, did he? I think that was just his, like, he started like aiming for 100 million or whatever, and a lot of his fans were like, let's help, you know.
Mhm.
And then, you know, one dude was like, sub to PewDiePie, and shot people or whatever, but you know,
well, that was the day.
yeah,
that
there's
was
some
way
shooting
after
where
the
apparently he
fact.
said it before, but
I said that was way after the fact.
yeah, somebody took it way
Interesting.
out of context and did some
I
stuff.
feel like
Damn,
Kind of
dude.
ended the
I
whole
feel
thing
like you could
because
definitely
yeah.
get a lot of subs. You know, doing like actually going to the like going to the conventions, right? And then like getting your name out there. You could even do a video at the convention, and then
I
like,
mean, you
wow, this
could
guy's something, you know.
possibly, but it also depends on the type of content, I'd say. Because, for example, my whole like growth method is I'm going to grind out this game until another one comes up, and then do informational things on this, kind of work my way around different niches, hopefully build a community from that, and then eventually I can just kind of do whatever I want because they're there for me, not the content I'm like the information that I'm offering.
Yeah.
I feel like depending on where you're at and the kind of content you're going to do, it's like you run around to some convention where they're there for all these different personalities, and it's like half of, probably maybe 1% actively play the video game that I'm covering, you know, like, so kind of depends, I guess, on the type of content. I don't think that I would be in a place to probably benefit from word of mouth kind of thing, like, you know. However, if the game,
Well,
if the game developers had some sort of event or like there's something related to the game, that would probably be beneficial to do it that way.
Definitely.
But just going to a YouTuber's
Yeah.
thing, you know, that probably wouldn't.
Tell me a little bit about this game. Called Grounded?
Yeah, it's basically like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids meets like survival craft type games. You're shrunk down to the size of an ant, and you got to survive in your backyard. Fight on like wolf spiders and stink bugs and ants and all sorts of stuff. You're chopping down blades of grass, making bases. It's, I don't know, it's fun. But there's a lot of like unlockable items, and like, you know, you got to learn this recipe by getting this item in order to make this tool. And so there goes some how-tos. And
I love
some
survival
views.
game. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's got a kind of cool art style to it too. But yeah, it's pretty good for content, because I started searching it and it was like, I think there's 3 other creators hitting that game pretty heavy. So I've been able to just kind of slip in there and get some of those views. But yeah, it's a fun game.
So do you look for games that are not saturated, basically, by other streamers, so that way you can be?
Well, I don't know.
spearheading?
I'm trying to pivot to Warzone. No, that would be like, I'm completely joking. That is so heavily saturated on YouTube. It is, at the time of when I started it, it was a very kind of niche game, where, because it was in early access for a long while. And it's actually kind of funny seeing the graph of my views, because it's like going along, kind of like those who are playing it are finding my videos and liking them and whatever. And then the game released as a full release, and the view like graph, it's such a significant like just tick upward. But you know, following it all the way through early access has kind of captured some of the early people, and then now, since it's more like, I don't know about mainstream, if you want to say that as far as a game, but it's kind of expanded into them.
Nice.
You got to figure out what that is. You got to figure out what that. Why is it that what is your retention getter, and then you keep doing it, right? Especially because there's stuff there. There's channels that I sub to, and I don't sub to a lot of channels. Like I'm hard pressed to hit that sub button. I'm one of those people where I'm like, you got to earn it. And the things that I like, there's only 1 or 2 streamers, and the reason I like them is because they can explain the tactics they use, right, and like why they do something. And I'm like, thank you, like that makes sense. I like the way that you keep explaining this every single episode, and that is the key seller for me to sub. So like, there's just key features I feel like every channel has, right? You know, whether it be the context or the way they go about it. And I think if you find that, if you've already found it, that's awesome. But I think we should always be looking for that here too on our channel. I think what helps us is our diversity, but location wise.
Yeah. And another thing that definitely helped out, especially when you were still in Germany. But another thing that's good about doing a podcast channel in general is that you kind of don't need to play the game as much if you're not in a hurry. So like, we could just keep making videos, and we'll just continually build up a library that when somebody finds us and they like us, you know, they'll start watching all of our stuff, and that'll bring our views way up, trigger their algorithm. So then that'll tell the bigger algorithm to show it to people with similar algorithms as the person who's been watching us like crazy. And because we're triggering the bigger algorithm, it'll get shown to more people. But, you know, it's a slow process. But that's the nice thing about podcasts, is they just sit there forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I can confirm that we now have episode 65 and 66 up on our audio only options.
That's what you've been working on?
Yep.
Why you been so quiet?
Yep.
Yeah.
Letting you talk because you're the guest. It's your episode. You called me out. You made me realize I've been slacking. Episode 67, I have to reformat as an MP3 before I can upload it. But I'm working on it.
Okay.
That's great.
Well, thank you, Jed.
That's great. You hear that, folks? We're getting the gears rolling back in together. So that's awesome. Jake, thank you for coming on today. You've been great. Where can people find you again? What's your channel?
Well, the main one is RCSU. That's what I have it titled as. There's a bunch of other ones, I guess. I think I've got 4 total, just different categories and doing different stuff, but
People are going to
RCSU.
You're good.
And we're about the podcast.
Very well. You're very interesting. I mean, you don't even have to work that hard. People are gonna find you.
Yeah, mostly because we'll also have all the links down in the description for your various platforms, because you do a podcast also called In Depth, right?
Yeah, You're In Depth. We cover different nerd culture stuff.
No, it's
We're
Your
currently
In
doing
Depth.
Lord of the Rings. But
Ooh.
yeah,
Oh, I gotta get on that. That's
No,
what
it's
I'm
great.
talking about.
I do really enjoy that.
Have you seen the new series? Is that what this is about? What are we doing?
So I have seen that. We have not yet covered it. We started off just doing Star Wars, and then we started doing The Hobbit, and then Lord of the Rings, and we're on Return of the King. I think we probably have 2 parts left, and we'll have that completed, and then we plan on starting Rings of Power. But it's kind of slow rolling because we don't have a recording schedule. It's just kind of like, if we're free that day, we do it.
Word.
Otherwise, and actually that being said, it also can't call out Jed too much because I got 3 unedited episodes that have been sitting on my hard drive for probably three weeks or so. But
Hey, you got it. One day at a time.
It's easy to fall behind.
yeah,
Awesome. Well, thanks again for having us. Looking forward to our next game night, and we'll check back in with you sometime in the future. When you're a millionaire, making that good, Raid Shadow Legends money.
oh, I refuse to accept a sponsorship from that. That's become a meme. And
Why?
But or whatever. That's a whole separate thing. I don't want to
Do it for the
become
meme.
that. But who knows?
Well, thanks everybody for joining us today on the Gentleman's Bureau. As always, if you like this video or this, what we're doing here, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know, what you liked, what you didn't like. Give us suggestions for people to have on in the future. Stuff you want us to talk about. We're always open to taking direction from our audience, and we'll see you all next time.